Hi everybody. So today I'm going to do a review of the Legacy Note-Taking Bible. This one is in the tan genuine leather. This one is put out by Holman. Comes in a very nice two-piece box. I will hold that right there in case you would like to pause and read that. Here are the features, which we're going to see on the inside. There's the ISBN number. This one does retail for $119.99. At the time that I'm filming this, they're on sale right now for about $85. It's also available in just a tan leather touch, as well as one called the Spanish Tile hardcover. So this one, I'll be posting the review of this one. So it's got a hardcover, but then leather touch on the spine. So 3 different cover options, but this genuine leather one is awesome. So this one measures out at 9 3/8 inches tall, 7.5 inches wide, and it is 1 3/4 inches thick. So we've got kind of a white and brown head and tail band, 2 ribbons. The gilding on this is very nice, very shiny. I do have a few scuffs on mine. Now the leather on this is awesome. So this one is a genuine leather. It's a cowhide leather cover in like a suede type leather. So it has a really neat look to it. Feels really nice, very smooth. Now you can scratch this, like if you were to scratch it with your nails, but you can also rub it out. So it's really nice the way that that is. So I've done different scratch tests and rubbed them out, and you can't even tell that I've done that. The spine, we've got the CSB True North logo, Holy Bible, Christian Standard Bible, and Holman. And then we can see all that tooling on there. So really a nice look to it. It reminds me of like an old journal. So I really like the leather on this. So we've got all that perimeter stitching around the perimeter. If it would focus, that is. There we go. And then that strap has the stitching on there as well. But really a neat cover. So on the liner on here, I believe this is just an imitation leather liner, but very soft, very flexible. And this is edge lined, so this liner is tabbed up onto the block, so that is impressive. So this would definitely be one that's going to last you a lifetime. We've got a presentation page, and then we do have a bunch of nice family pages in this one, which I really like. We've got the certificate of marriage. We've got the husband's family tree. I'll get you a little bit of a close-up so you can see that. So that is really nice. We're also going to have one for the wife's family tree. We've got 2 pages for family memories. They've got the lines on there, and then it is broken in the center, so you do get the 2 columns. Each one of these pages does also have a scripture verse down along the bottom. We can see the stitching there in the gutter, so some evidence of our sewn binding. And we're not even into the Bible yet, and it's laying flat for us, so that is nice. We're going to have 2 pages for births and adoptions, page for marriages, deaths, 2 pages for important events, and then a page for notes. Then we get right into the Bible. I like the way they did the design on the outer edge, and they kind of did it to where it's not 100% printed on there, so it kind of makes it look old. So I like that design. So that is something that is done on purpose. So I do like that. I'll give you a close-up of the ISBN numbers for the other options. This one is printed in China. So on this page here, this page is going to go over how to use the CSB Legacy Note-Taking Bible. So I'll get you a little bit closer. Now one thing on here that I do really like is how it talks about, you know, remember that this Bible could outlive you by decades. So I'll spend some time researching to find pens and ink that are designed for this kind of project and will not bleed through or fade. Keep the Bible in a safe and dry place. You may even want to build a presentation box to protect the Bible from damage. And then it also talks about including a photo of yourself. That way when you pass this down to loved ones, they'll be able to to see the image of you, see all your notes and everything. So this could just make a really awesome keepsake down the road. We'll have a contents page, all the books of the Bible. We're going to have an introduction to the CSB, so if you've never read this translation, you'll want to check this out. It'll go over the textual base of the CSB, the goals of the translation philosophy. It'll go over formal, dynamic, and optimal equivalence. So that's going to be very helpful. And then we get right into the Old Testament. So we're going to have a single column layout with the wide margins. This type of paper, in certain lighting, you can kind of see that glow there in the gutter. That only happens in the type of lighting that I'm in right now. So this is kind of like a cream colored paper that almost has a slight yellowish tint, more so in certain lights. But it's very easy on the eyes. This is really easy to read from in low light situations, so I do like that. So again, we've got our single column layout. We can see we do have plenty of space here in the gutter, so the text isn't going to fall into the gutter. Now on our margins, I'll get you a close-up. So we've got our lined margins. Now if you measure just the lined portion, that is 1 7/8 inches. If you go from the text to the edge of the page, you've got 2.5 inches. So tons of space for notes. This is a line matched text, so we're going to have very, very minimal ghosting. The only time you'll see ghosting is going to be where there is no text, which that's going to be normal in any Bible. This one does have a 9-point font, so nice and readable. So you're going to have tons of space for notes, and like I said, you do have space in the gutter, so if you wanted to put any cross references in there, you can. Now we do have 2 ribbons, so we're going to have 2 double satin ribbons. We've got in like a burnt orange color and a red. Again, both double satin. They are long enough to use, so I do really like that they do give us 2 ribbons. That is always nice. And the books, we can see right here that they always start on the right page. So a lot of times you're going to have space, a lot of more space for notes after a book. So here's a shot of how the Psalms are going to look. Really a great layout. Then once we get back into the back of the Bible, so not only does this have the wide margins throughout all of the text, but it also has wide margins in the concordance. So this is going to be black letter, so we're not going to have any words of Christ in red, but it is nice that we have all of our subject headings in bold, so that makes it easy to know where you're at. But once we get back to the end of Revelation and we get into our concordance, the print is still really good back here. The words are done in bold, but one thing that you might notice is the margin space here is going to be a lot larger than in the biblical text. So just the lined portion here is going to be 2 7/8, but if we measure from the edge of the text to the edge of the page, we're going to have 3.5 inches. So you have tons and tons of note-taking space in here. And like I said before, with there being space in the margins, if you run out of note-taking space within the biblical text, make yourself a note what page number you put additional notes back here, and then you have plenty of space. So if you're a note taker, you are going to like this Bible. So we're going to get back to the end of the concordance. So we're not going to have any other helps or anything, but we do have some maps. They are going to be full color. They're on a matte finish cardstock. And one thing I like is I really like the colors that Holman used on these maps. They're a little bit different than their others. So I'll just kind of pan down this so you can see that. But really nice. I like the colors in this. And so with there being the border on the edges, you do have space to take notes on these if you want. We've got some more stitching. But really pretty maps. I really like the colors on these. And then we just get back to the end of the Bible. So I did mention, like, this is one section of this strap here. I'm going to get you closer, where I've done like some scratch tests. So we can see those little scratches that I just did with my fingernail. And you can just simply rub that right out of the leather. You can't even see that I did that, even if I get it really close. And I've done that a bunch of times on this, showing this type of leather to different people. And so over time, even if you do scuff this Bible, you're going to be able to rub out any of the scuffs and scratches. But it does have just a really neat grain pattern on it already. So none of that is scuffs or scratches. That's just going to be the grain. But really a pretty color. I love the feel of this one here. But just an awesome Bible. And especially if you're a note taker, this is going to be an awesome Bible to take notes in. I would definitely recommend this one. So again, this one is the tan genuine leather. I'll put links to all of them in the description box. There's an ISBN number. But this one out of them is my favorite. I have not seen the leather touch one in person, but I will post the review of this Spanish tile hardcover. So again, this section is going to be like just a hardcover, but then on the spine it does have the leather touch on the spine. So that's actually pretty neat. But the layout, everything on the inside is going to be identical. But really nice note-taking Bibles. The more I read the CSB, the more I like it. But this particular leather is awesome. So I love the cover on this one. It's definitely turning into one of my favorites. All right. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.